Alireza Firouzja is the winner of Crunches Tour, St. Louis Rapid and Blitz tournament. And today I'm gonna walk you through the key moments in his games, and we'll first start by looking at this position where he was playing against Maxim Vachier-Lagrave. Following position, Alireza played rook b7. He has this pass pawn on b4, which might be promoted, but it's not that easy as this knight is a good blocker on b3. And here Maxim plays knight c5, threatening this rook. And Alireza played great move here as he finds a way to push his pawn to b3. The idea is that after knight b7, b2, this pawn simply promotes because this rook can't stop b2 pawn from b8, and there are no checkmates or whatsoever, and black end up winning the game. Though again, I can't say it was critical, but it took some time to Alireza to convert, but he ended up winning this game. g5, knight h5, king g6, knight f4. I mean, two pass pawns both together. Of course, he would have won this chess game. Next position against Jan Nepomniachtchi. So, as we can see, structure from typical English game. Probably Jan played something like c4, knight f6, knight c3, e5. And in the following position, Jan plays b takes a5. So here, according to the computer, after bishop b2, actually sacrificing the pawn on b4, but counter-attacking this pawn on a5, the position is somewhat equal. But after the move Jan played, b takes a5, there is great f5 move, and it turns out this knight has to go somewhere. It can go to c3, the only other square is go knight d2, but it's very passive as here black can just play knight c3. The idea is, and now the best move is actually queen c2, giving up this pawn on e2, and the position is a lot worse. But instead, Jan took pawn on b7, and Alireza exploited this mistake as you might know, sometimes queen can take pawn on b7, or let's say black take pawn on b2, and there might be some problems with this queen, and that's exactly what happened in the game as knight e2, this bishop d5, and now knight a5 is being threatened, knight b4 is being threatened, and this queen will be basically captured. Rook e1, knight b4, queen d5, knight d5, rook e2, bishop f6, and of course Alireza ended up winning this chess game. I'll scroll real quick. As you could see, there was still some fight as Jan didn't resign for a while, but after all, queen, as my coach liked to say, don't play without queen. The next position against Linier Dominguez, one of the old guys, and here Linier was actually winning if he would have found takes, and insane b5. Basically, the idea of b5 is that this knight is under attack, and if c takes b5, there is c6, and this pawn is coming to c7 and becomes very dangerous. So, but instead, what happened was queen e2, rook c3, takes, and Alireza slowly outplayed Linier in this endgame, as the knight is a very tricky bastard, and at some point it was very hard for Linier to defend. His bishop was kind of passive, and here, of course, final pin. It's over. This takes rook g2, wins the bishop and wins the game. Another game, and again against Jan Nepomniachtchi. Another endgame. 4 pawns versus 3, but those pawns are doubled, and here, again, computer gives white slight advantage, +1, but in reality, I mean, still, probably black would fight for a lot more. After rook a6, rook d1, f4, again, now computer even says like +0.4, which is not much. Bishop e7, thus bishop f6, knight d6, bishop e5, b4, and slowly white outplayed black in this endgame. And it was, I can't say it's surprising, but it probably looked that Jan could actually defend this position at some point. Bishop d6, king a3, knight c2, and basically now this pin is coming, and there are problems with this knight. Look, this square is blocked, this square is blocked, this square is blocked, everything is blocked, only square a1, and here Alireza won by Jan's resignation. Another game against another talented youngster, Nayerbek Abdusatorov. Here nerve-wracking played knight to 1, so after crazy king f2 move, he would have held it for a while, but again, very unpleasant, and it's actually no, given knight g4 check, no, I wouldn't play it, I would play something else like knight d1, but here it's actually some sort of zugzwang. In the following position, white simply have no moves, and both pawns are being attacked, and black just win the game. Queen c4, you know, trade tactic, and Alireza just went on to win the game, and the ending is kinda beautiful. This, knight d2, h4, knight f4, and boom! The idea is this knight can stop the pawn on h3, and Alireza won the game. And another beautiful example against Wesley saw opposite colored bishops, but here b6 pawn, and if rook c6 has been threatened with b7, and here black had to play king e6 and go to d7 to save the game. So here, you know, it's probably would have ended in a draw, but unfortunately for Wesley, with 9 seconds left on the clock, he played rook e1 check, and after king h2 it turns out that there is no way to protect from this and this. If he goes bishop g7, I mean, good luck protecting this. King e6, just bishop b4, this pawn will be taken, and this is kind of what happened in the game. King h2, rook b1, and now brilliant rook c6. And the idea is that after b takes c6, bishop b4, this pawn is unstoppable, and black are not able to return on time. Let's say rook e1, there is simple b7, rook e8, bishop d6, and white win the game. And again, versus Linier Dominguez. So Alireza actually had like 2-0 matchups against some of the players like Jan and Linier. So in the following position, Linier played bishop d6. And after bishop c3, it turns out that black's king is very vulnerable and white have strong, I mean, they're completely winning. Rook h2, bishop f8, bishop e5, and bishop d6 is coming, and white are just being up a piece. This, bishop f8, and of course, Alireza ended up winning the game in the following position. So after both Rapid and Blitz, Alireza scored 23 points. Surprisingly for myself, Wesley So scored 20 points and finished second. Hikaru 19.5, Livon 19, Maxim 19, Fabi only 6th place with 19 points, and Jan as well. And then Nadirbiak 16, Linier 15.5, and very surprising results from Prague, as he's lost with 12 points, but he might strike back in classical chess. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you want me to recap next. I mean, there's Hans's match, there are other strong tournaments coming up like Singfield Cup in 2 days. I'll see you in the next recap tomorrow in the future video. Bye bye.